Hey, there we are. Is everybody recovering from the horrible last second loss last night?
I didn't watch.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I figured they. I didn't. I figured they lost. I saw a thing that said they. What did it say?
Wait,
They.
who are they? Who are they?
No, I don't know.
USA soccer team.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
that it was they recouped or something like that after the game. So I was like, oh, then they obviously probably didn't win.
They recouped after the game. Now, see, I'm not a fan at all of soccer. I watched my first soccer game ever last week, whenever that was, and I'll never watch it again after this whole fiasco is over. But what I found very interesting is it's much more physical and much more dangerous than I thought it was. When I saw not in the last night's game, the game before, where the guy Freeman, who is Antonio Freeman's son, who used to play for the Green Bay Packers, and I'm from Wisconsin, so I know those things. But he jumped up at the same time as one of the other guys jumped up from Australia, and they went like crunch head first into each other. I think they both missed the ball, and I was like, oh, "This is cool. I like this."
Yeah.
You know,
It's like girls soccer has more concussions than even football or something like that. It's a crazy statistic number when you look at like high school sports. But
yeah, you got like women's soccer. You have the WNBA with them all beating the hell out of one person, and then you got like men's soccer, and then you got all of football probably in that order as far as concussions go. But so what I don't understand is, so apparently they have periods that are, I don't know how long they are, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And then it gets to the end and then it says, okay, we're going to add roughly about this many more minutes. But the only person who knows when the period is going to end is the guy with the clock in his hand who doesn't show it to anybody else. I was like, what kind of a silly system is this? So at the end of the game last night, we're almost up to 100 minutes. We're like 98 minutes or something. And I frankly think the Americans thought the game was over or something. And all of a sudden, boom, Turkey scores and wins the game. That's just like, and then like as soon as they score that, oh, time's up. I was like, where are the rules on this? I mean, one person could just arbitrarily said, okay, game's over.
Yeah.
When he couldn't have said it was game's over 5 seconds before that, before the goal was kicked.
I don't know. I played it as a kid. I got in trouble by the coach because I was like, why would I run all the way down there? They're coming right back. They tried to stick me in goalie. I still didn't really care for it. So I played like one or 2 years. Like 1 year.
No, I've never played soccer in my life. I never had any use for it, but that's fine. We'll talk about something else here besides that. What should we talk about today?
Well, I think there is some new things in ClickFunnels, isn't there? And maybe there's more people getting access to Overskill.
Overskill? What's that?
I don't know.
Ask me being an idiot. No, so what happened? Let's just do the Overskill stuff. So last week, they changed the name on this thing so many times, I'm not sure what it is. So they were doing was it a 2 Comma Club event? But it turns out it wasn't just 2 Comma Club people there. It was basically everybody who's in any of Russell's coaching programs could show up for this thing, including anybody who bought the platinum ticket for Marketing Secrets. So a whole bunch of people pile into a room.
Because you got a shadow.
Yeah. And I know at one point it was being called Bootstrapped, and then it suddenly become Offer Secrets or something. And because Russell's working on writing a book called Offer Secrets, even though he's already put out a course called Offer Secrets. And so they did 2 days worth of training on that. But the real big takeaway on it was a lot of people got access to Overskill. And if you don't know what Overskill is, think Lovable, except a lot easier to use, at least from my limited experience with Lovable. And so everybody got access to it on, I think this ran Tuesday and Wednesday, so it would have been Tuesday night, around 5-6 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody was given access to it. And Russell decided to have a contest, and he drug $10,000 in cash up onto the stage. He couldn't get it in ones because he said it would be like a week delay for them to go out and find that many $1 bills. So it was all in 20s, I guess. And so he was going to have a contest. Who could build the best app overnight? So they're going to know by looking at it when you started building the app. So it's not like you could give them something that you had already built prior if you had access to the software. And so you had from basically, let's say, about 6 o'clock on Tuesday night till I think it was 9 a.m. on Wednesdays when they had the final cutoff. And they had over 200 submissions from people who were watching online and who were in the room. And then they narrowed that down to 12. And then from that 12, then they had the probably 10 people who were in the room, because 2 of them were online submissions. Those 10 people come up and give like a 30-second pitch on what their app was about. And so let me share my screen, and I will give access to everyone. Let me see here. Let's go with this window. And what do I have open on this window? I have that open. Okay. All right, we should be good to go.
Okay.
Okay, so
that's the changelog.
Yes, this is the changelog. In case you've never seen the changelog before, this is the changelog. As long as I have this open, let's see here. Oh, here's an interesting one. So last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago when we were last here. Oh, and by the way, we want to let everybody know that we will be going on our summer hiatus here, sabbatical, whatever we want to call it, for the next, we don't know how many weeks. So you will not be seeing us here for, our singular fan who watches us every week. Oh, wait, we got 3 fans this week. We will not be back again until probably sometime in August, but who knows? If something really exciting comes up in between, then we may
Russell comes up with something for us to talk about then.
Yeah, especially if he's got some new launch coming, new products, new exciting this or that. There is supposed to be, we've heard rumors that there's stuff coming the end of August for sure. There might be other stuff. There might be things that need to get redone. We don't know all that stuff, but where is the one here? Workspace attributes. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, whereas you could basically create an attribute, just go find it. It's bottom, go to the second page, bottom left sidebar. You can create an attribute, and then wherever you put that attribute on any single page or in any single email, it will swap out that information. So that's pretty cool, and that does seem to be working. But another cool one this week was, okay, well, everybody got access to the beta of the AI beta now. Apparently, a lot of people had not had access to that yet. Easy way to duplicate workflow steps right there. Something to do with courses. I still haven't figured out what that is.
There's also the flexibility in the surveys too. I saw that the one thing that I've discovered this week is you can't delete a survey once you create it.
Really?
No.
Okay. Well, so with my assets, everybody struggled so much with I uploaded my asset, my PDF, whatever I got. How do I give it to somebody? Well, they finally put in a little button here to click to copy the link, and then you could just drop that in your email, put it on your thank you page, do whatever. So they just made that really simple for us now. You used to have to go in there and find the button and right click on it and copy the link address, and so they finally got that. And here's something that's been going on for a while is they have, I think it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they have open office hours. So you should be starting to see a little icon at the top of your screen letting you know that they have open office hours. So it's who are the 3 guys doing it? David Lamoureux, Tyson Zimmer, and Rob Schwartz. They are doing that. I think it's 8 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you'll have to click on that link and find out. But basically it's Q&A. Any question you got, just get on there and they'll answer any question about how to work with and run ClickFunnels. So it's a pretty cool thing. So now let's go to what I had been talking about is this page right here. And Madison, let me just copy that, drop it into our chat right there. so you can put it on the screen for people or drop it into the Facebook. This is the 12 people who they brought up on stage and let talk about their thing. And this gal right here, Sarah Allred, is the one who won. And they have them numbered now, so I don't know if they changed the order in which they got their votes. They may well have. But like I said, 2 people weren't even in the building, and so they couldn't get up on stage and pitch it. Now, I heard Sarah talk about this since, and basically the upshot on why did she win? Because as she was building this, she was planning on what she would say in order to pitch it. Whereas everybody else is just building something, a lot of it for themselves. She was building something here. It's kind of sort of a story extraction. Bob, let me just open it up here. I think voting is okay. Click on demo right there. So she said she apparently she's into these true crime shows or something like that, and she's also big on helping people extract their stories. And so that's where she was coming from. She's the interrogator, and she's got the hot light over your head, and she's beating your knuckles and getting the truth out of you, of course. And so you can come down here, and let me see if there's anything down here at the bottom. But so now again, remember, in her case here, she said she's been working on this since, but I don't know if she's working on this version of it or a different one. But she basically had 12 hours to build this thing. And so most of this, I think, was here. I don't think this part down here was there the first day. Might have been, maybe this wasn't here either, but definitely the top part was. And so we'll click here, and it says, with 201 cases solved, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's begin. And you can just start. What do you got to do here? Start. Okay, so I got to pick one here. Health, wealth, or relationships. So you pick that, and we click here, and then you can click some other stuff, and you keep going. And there's places where you can input stuff. There's places where you just click stuff, and you go through it there. So if you guys want to take a look at that, you can. But one thing I wanted to show you in here is, here's one from Tony Torres. They had Tony up on stage a couple times. Tony is a fitness guy. He's former professional bodybuilder. He's done some television shows and movies and stuff as well over the years. But there was, let's see if it's still in here. Get Me Going. Let's see if this was it. Nope, this is not it. What I'm looking for here is, whoa, hey, Coach Tony, shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Tony.
Luckily, you didn't share your audio, so nobody else can hear it, Dan.
Oh, okay. I'm like, getting my ears blasted off by Coach Tony. He's like, hey, this is Coach Tony. He's like, okay, cool. Thanks, Coach Tony. Let me see. Okay. Coach login. Was this it? Okay. I'm not finding it. So apparently he got that taken out of here. What it was you clicked on one of the buttons and you went to the next page, and the next page said, click here to download this application and use it as your own. And that is one of the things that's actually built into Overskill that you have to be careful about and make sure you turn it off, unless you really want people copying what you just did. So just be aware of that. I will show you one other place if I remember to do that as we go through. But here, let's just try to open the app. Let's see if, okay, Coach Tony is going to start talking at me at any moment here. There you go. We can stop him. Yeah, so hopefully it looks like he probably took that out. So it's good. But again, he built what he built in 12 hours. So, and if you never had access to the software before, it's 12 hours just learning curve to figure out how to get this stuff to work half the time. So, so anybody can come to this page, check out what other people built. Like I said, some of them have built onto, some of them have not. This one down here is actually a woman created a children's game, and you can the Forever Arch, and it's just pretty cool that you saw the animations there, that she just spoke into her computer, into the microphone, and it built this entire thing for her, this children's game. And you can do all kinds of stuff around in here. So just grab the link, go in there, take a look. It's some pretty cool stuff that people have been building. Then
We will
another.
say the asterisk is currently the only way you get access to Overskill is if you bought the $3,000 package, not with the $97 a month, or it's not available as just a subscription at this current moment. Correct?
Yeah, there is waiting list somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't we see if we can find that for people? I'm pretty sure it's overskill.com. It's not AI.com. Let's see here. And why do they call it Overskill? I don't know. I can't figure that out. Even Todd in a presentation one day accidentally called it Overkill, and so I was like, I don't feel so bad.
Ever since you said, I hope I don't say overkill on the live, I have not been able to not say it. So,
well, and for some reason I'm not getting there, and that may not be the right URL anyway. So let me see here. This was okay. That was hers. And then here was another one that Dave Larson, who's in the Funnel Builder certification program, that he built. And so he freely gave this to everybody in the chat. So I will give it to everyone if you want to go take a look at this one as well. I just dropped it in the chat there for you. And so I don't know what you got to do. See your localized results. Okay, your name, email. Okay, so here's one of these here where you have to opt in. Okay. No, that's okay. If that's what you want is to have somebody opt in, you can have them opt in. Do you have to have somebody opt in? No. Do you have to run them as a full page like this on their own? No. Can you embed them into another page? Yes. So there's a lot of flexibility on what you can do on these. But I will tell you one thing that I've discovered is that not only is there very limited, let's just talk from an SEO standpoint. Okay. SEO, I will put that in quotes. Let's talk about from that standpoint. There is virtually nothing on here that would in any way be findable by a search engine. And what is automatically put in here, and I haven't figured out quite how to change it yet, short of talking to the AI and having the AI do it, is the information it puts in there is all about Overskill, not about you or your company. And I see that I'm like really delayed here, so I don't know if I am or not. It looks like I am, but does it look like I'm delayed? Let me kill this tab here at least so that stops loading.
yeah, it does look like it. Yeah.
Does look like what?
That we're delayed. Oh, now it looks like if you refresh Facebook, it looks like we're good.
Okay. Well, I was looking at what I'm seeing here on my screen. But so like I said, so we got the app builder, and we'll look at the inside of that a little bit more. And then we have here this thing they're talking about. It's Bootstrap or Bootstrapped. So members.bootstrap.com. Let me copy that, paste this in.
Looks like we have a solid 15-second delay, which is probably good for our show.
Well, I was like a minute as we were coming in the beginning of this. Let me just do something really quick here. I don't know if Jeannie's on the phone. Actually, I can do it faster. Just hang on. Tap dance for a minute for me.
Tap dance. So I will say, as somebody who has built apps the hard way, there are really cool things that are built into Overskill that would be challenging to do normally. There are things about database structure, the schema of the database. There is a lot of the fundamentals that you don't have to figure out. I mean, this is where kind of AI can hallucinate a little bit. Also, all your endpoints are API accessible, which is really cool if you want to push data from ClickFunnels or from someplace else or from Zapier or anything, all of that into that app. You can. I've not tested it.
Yeah, and there's when we get in there, there's 1,000 different applications you can tie to it. You got your several different ways you can hook up payment gateways and everything. Like I said, you can collect names. You don't have to collect names. You can sell it one off. You can sell it any way you want. But here's the one thing is this is what they were touting is they got these 3 phases now. Whereas Russell said that for years, ClickFunnels was the front end of the business. And now it's not the front end anymore, even though don't think for 1 second they're forgetting about ClickFunnels. They have a lot of big plans on what they're going to do with ClickFunnels. But now they're saying, okay, the big thing is build the software part of it first. I mean, because ClickFunnels was software. They made $1 billion selling software. So build your own software now, then use Marketing Seekers AI to market it, and then to use ClickFunnels to scale it. That's the whole process that they have here. So members.bootstrap.com, come here. It's not doing a whole lot right now, but I think as time goes on, more stuff is going to get added.
Do you have to have bought in the $3,000 package to get access to this, or is this available to anybody?
I think anybody can get to this page. It's when you click on the rest of it and try to go somewhere, you probably don't get too far. Well, we can kick here. So let's see, start your journey. And then, because it also has a 3-phase map. I think no matter what you click, you just kind of end up here. But let's see what happens here. All right, here we go. Set up an account. So overskill.com/2ccx. Join the Bootstrap, something. Join the Vibathon, $99. I don't know what any of this means. But yeah, that's all. I don't know. Go play with it on your own. And there you go. So now let's go look at, unless you got something else before we jump into, where was the one I wanted to do? So here was one.
I was going to say, I told you at the beginning I had nothing. So
yes.
I'm here just for comedic timing.
I got nothing. I see nothing. We'll call you Sergeant Schultz from now on. This I just pulled
when
up
does
this
the strudel
morning.
come? Strudel.
The strudel. I haven't seen that show for so long.
It's my husband's favorite show. Watch it quite frequently, actually.
I can't blame you. I mean, if you just want to just forget about the world, go watch that nonsense for half an hour and relax. So what I did here is I just pulled up one of the templates. So they got a whole bunch of templates in here already, and I just clicked on this one. I don't know why. Well, I clicked on this one because it had this gigantic headline here. You can see right here, freshest from the field weekly. And it started off as fresh from the field weekly because I wanted to test something. We were on a call yesterday and I said, I think you can do this, but I'm not sure. And I'll show you what I did in a second, but after we go through what's in the left sidebar here. So right here, I said, change the font size to 18 pixels and change fresh to freshest. And as you see right here, it says H1, fresh from the field weekly. What I did is I came down here and I clicked on edit, came up here, clicked on this, and then I typed in here, change the font size to 18 pixels, change fresh to freshest. Boom, did that, and it did it for me. Because we were talking yesterday about what's the easiest way to edit some of this stuff. And that is the easiest way. Now, that all being said, as soon as I hit enter, let me go back to that there. I'm pretty sure I typed it in. Yeah, I typed it in. I hit enter. As soon as I did it, it went and ran it. Now, that only gave me the ability to do one edit at a time. And when I did that edit, it cost me 312 credits. Now, the other day, I had a whole bunch of pages on a different app I'm building that I needed to fix the text on. And so there, what I was doing is I would just open up. I wonder if I still have that open. No, it looks like it's all closed. I just opened up a text file and I just said, okay, on step 3, change. And I put in the actual text to what I wanted the new text to be. Okay. And mostly just copy paste into this thing. Then I had 20 different things all in a list in this text document, which I then copied, dropped down here to the bottom. Let me turn off that edit, drop down here to the bottom, did it. Usually if I had 20, it'd be 1,000 credits. So I'm pointing that out here. This is the simplest way to do it, but it cost me 312 credits. I do that 20 times. That's 6,000 credits, and 6,000 credits is about $30. So you get to decide which way you want to do it. This way, doing the edit button is simplest, but it's going to cost you much money. Well, then somewhere along the way here, I was clicking on these things down here because it gives you, in this case here, there are 5 different suggestions. So if I click on this here, it reads out the whole thing. So you see what the whole thing is here. Add and about this week, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think in the process of doing that, I had opened one of them up and I think I accidentally hit the go button because what I had clicked on was put a banner at the top telling us what the latest specials were. And that cost me 171 credits by accidentally clicking on something. So that's a second word of warning there is just be careful, because this thing doesn't ask you, do you want me to do this? It just does it. And you could have clicked on something and you just burn through 3,000 credits and you're not getting your money back. So, and every 1,000 credit is basically $5. So you burn through 3,000 credits, you just lit $15 on fire. So just to make you aware of that, which then brings us to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which was they have a thing down here, planning mode. So I was building an app here, and I had been working with Claude, a Claude project, to do this exact same thing. Well, in order to do it, we needed to access external web pages. We needed to access Cloudflare. We needed to access the API. We needed to write code, put it in certain places. We needed to update the DNS inside of Cloudflare. We needed to do all this stuff. And I could not get a Claude project to do it, even though I thought it could do at least some of this stuff. So the interesting part for those of you who are using Marketing Secrets, I then took that same idea, went into Marketing Secrets. In fact, do I have that open them here? Let's just go here. So I came into Marketing Secrets, and in Marketing Secrets, there's a secret I'm going to tell you. Our singular fan is watching right now. So
we just lost one.
Oh, wait.
We were 3. We lost one.
And I'm live, and you're so wait. Maybe we are our only fans.
Fans.
Oh wait, we're only fans now.
That makes sense.
Jeez, we are only fans. There you go. So I can let the world know about this secret that I think myself and everyone in this private group that we have of Marketing Secrets owners, users, whatever, will know about, because I told them this, is these projects right here. These are actually Claude projects. The difference is, and you can see here something I asked it to do, run this Python code and return the output. It did it. Claude cannot do that. A Claude project cannot do that. I would have had to have gone into Claude Code to be able to do that. I did this inside of a project inside of Marketing Secrets. Now, could I have done this at the level of the chief of staff? I don't know. Let's find out, because I just thought of that right now. So let's put this in here and let's see if Marketing Secrets itself can do this. Because what it was, and after giving the results back to Claude, it's like Claude is like, yeah, that can do anything you want it to inside of a project. And the reason why you would use a project is because you can do the 2 things in here, which are very important to projects, which are put in your instructions and put in the files that it needs in order to do the instructions. So this becomes incredibly super powerful, but there's a problem with it. You can't put it anywhere else. You can't take this and put it into your membership area and have somebody pay you $97 a month to come in there and use it. You can't make it a standalone page. You can't do anything with it. Did it? I don't know. Did
it printed?
Did it give us the result? Okay. 2 + 2
but
equals 4.
It said something about the sandbox clock. Is that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Wanted to make sure it gave you the right time.
Yeah, well, free.
Okay. Yep.
1832. Yeah, so that'd be
Yep.
right. 'Cause we're 7. Was it 7? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
UTC 7 UTC
Yep.
or plus 7 UTC. Yeah. Um, the yeah. So this is super cool. You can do some really super cool things in here. Problem is, how do I give this to somebody?
Mhm.
Well, I can't. I'd have to come in here. I would have to copy the instructions, give that to them as a file. Any of the files I put down here, I would have to give to them as a file, and then give them instructions on how to set it up and run it and all that. And so that's, when you do this and you get it to work and you go, that's great, but then how do I give it to somebody? Well, the answer is Overskill, because I took exactly that same project, and in about 48 hours I built it into an app that yeah, I'm not going to tell everybody what it does yet, but it's something that everybody's going to want to use. I
And
can,
it's not telling you the time.
yeah, it doesn't well, I can, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that is.
I could build it in. Let's put it in there. But what I started to say was, and why I went through this entire process was, I started building this in Claude just to see if it was even possible. Had to get into marketing secrets and actually to find out if it was possible, because Claude couldn't do the API connections and all the stuff that I needed to. Yes, it is possible to do this. Then I moved it over into Overskill, and I'm not going to show you the exact project yet.
Well, and the caveat is he couldn't do it in Claude, but he could have done it with Claude Code.
Yes, I could have, but what would I
Or
have
code.
what would I have had to do then in order to give it to somebody to have them run it? Is that even possible? I've never used Claude Code.
You'd had to build it and basically compress it, upload it somewhere to Vercel, Netlify, something like that. The cool thing about Overskill is it's actually giving you a domain to run your app on already. So you don't have to worry about hosting. And I think the biggest thing is environmental tokens. So your APIs, your keys, your secrets, your client IDs, all of that is there. It's not something you have to try to figure out how to protect, because if you've ever built an app on your desktop, running it on local host, and then pushed it to Netlify and can't figure out why it doesn't work anymore, it's because you didn't add the environmental keys, because they don't go with the bundle build of an app.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, and Lovable isn't much different than that either, is it? Because even with Lovable, you have to still tie all the other platforms and everything else to it.
And you still don't have like that API. It's doable, but there's a lot of things that are really hard to implement into a Lovable or Replit that with Composio are already there in the market to Overskill.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and in case somebody's wondering, because you can all see my left sidebar here, right? This is a new function in Chrome where you take, instead of having all your tabs across the top, it is a sidebar like this here, and you just come up here to the 3 dots, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was 3 dots, more tools, and then you can show tabs horizontally. So now they're back up at the top, and now I can do show tabs vertically, and they're back over here on the side. And the nice thing about it is you can see much more of the title tag in here. And it took me, I've been using this for maybe 4 or 5 days now. And the biggest thing is your mouse wants to just keep going up to the top to click on things. So you got 20 plus years of muscle memory you have to forget about by doing this. Plus, you also have to have your eye looking over here instead of across the top. But after just a few days of doing this, I actually really prefer this. This is much cooler than doing it the other way. And then the other trick, I don't know if you can see these little tabs across the top here. Nuno Tavares actually showed me this, showed a group of people this one day, is if you want to get these little tabs up here, all you do is you click on the star for whatever page you're on, you take out what's in the name, and you click on done. And it will create the little icons up here for you. So I got all the icons for some of the main stuff I'm running. Oh, it just put in this one here, and I didn't even want it in there. So What do I have to do? We have to come in here and edit this. And nope, that's not it. I'll figure that out later. Okay, so let me show you one other thing. Like I was talking about Tony's thing before about how you can accidentally have people stealing this from you. Here's another way right here, this Overskill badge. If you leave this on your page, somebody clicks on it, they can grab your app. They can just completely clone your app. Make sure you got this thing here turned off when you go to publish it. And I think there was even a third way I found that people could just easily swipe your stuff. So you want to be careful of that. You also want to be careful because if you just put your app out there, and so let's say if I were to publish this app right now and just give it to people, you know what they can do with it? They can just copy the link out of the address bar and they can use it themselves wherever they want to use it. So I've already built an application to be able to make sure that doesn't happen. So you run your URL basically through my application, and it will kill it to the point where somebody goes to it, it will redirect to whatever page you want it redirected to. That's for in a case like myself where I'm going to be running all these inside of embedding them inside of a course. But somebody could still click on the code, go, oh, hey, there's the URL. Or if you're doing this as a paid product, somebody will still go, oh, here's a URL. I'm just going to grab that and put it on my thing. And it may or may not work because it's paid. But it's
why you would need to use like authenticated users.
Yeah, but see, what I'm doing is you don't have to have an authenticated user, because if I just drop it inside of my course, I don't want to all I want them to do is have to log into the course. But once they're in their course, they could grab that URL. Well, the URL they're going to grab, if they put it into search, if they put it in the search bar at the top, or they put it into the address bar at the top and hit enter, it's going to redirect them to my main page, even though it should open up the app, but it doesn't, because again, I'm writing all kinds of apps to do that. So what was I doing? I was coming back here because, let me see, I had done it in Claude. Oh, I know. So I did it in Claude. I did it in Marketing Secrets, but I knew I had to build it in Overskill. And so I came in and I clicked down here at the bottom on plan. Now, first off, they say, when you're doing your planning, do it in plan, because it'll cost you less tokens, less credits. I don't think that's true personally, because it cost me a crap ton of credits. But I asked it all the stuff. Can you do this, this, and this? Like I said, we're talking about APIs and external this and all these different technical things that it had to do. Can you do all these things? And of course, typical AI is like, oh yeah, I can definitely do all those things. Then it says, well, I'm not really sure if I can do those things. So let me check if I can do those things. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if I, it just like keeps going on and on and on. It's like, oh, for the love of God, just test it and see if you can do it. So we get through all of this process, and this probably took me 10,000 credits just to get it to the point of giving it images, giving it examples, giving it files I had to upload, because there's very particular outputs that have to be generated, very particular code that had to be written, and finally get to that point. And I say, okay, we're going to go into build mode now. I go into build mode, and it just builds me a pile of garbage. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, blah, blah, something, something. I go, yeah, but no, I gave you this stuff. Here, let me give it to you again. So I give it more files. I explain more stuff to it. Still gives me garbage. I go back and forth this thing 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times, probably more accurately, burn through another 10,000 credits. And I finally stop and say to the AI, can you go back and read everything we talked about during the planning session? I said, sure. Reads through the planning session. Then it says, oh, here you go. And gave me my finished app. Now, I had to do a bunch of repairs. I had to fix a lot of the language it had in there. I did not like it or anything like that. But it essentially went in one prompt then, gave me exactly what I wanted. So this is my word of warning to you. use plan, fine. I will probably continue to use plan. But then when you go to build mode, say, before you continue, reread the entire document to this point. Reread everything we talked about under planning.
Yep.
Because once it reread that, it was done. And I was like, I could not figure out why it was like I was talking to somebody who had never talked to me before. And then as soon as I read it, oh yeah, here it is. Just handed it to me. And it's just like, on the other thing I found is if you let me see here, I think it's at the bottom of this one here. Here's another thing. In here under publish, SEO enhancement, don't click on that. It just burned up 1,100 points for me and did absolutely nothing. It says, oh, we found one little tiny thing that was wrong and we'll fix it for you. And it didn't fix it for me. So don't click on that. It's just going to cost you 1,000 credits for nothing. But what I did is I came into this one because I wanted my other app to have the same kind of styling, coloring, all that kind of stuff. And all I said was, where's my prompt here? Okay. Can you give me a style guide you use for this app so I can have it built into another app? Okay, great. Gave me all this, copy, pasted it into the new app I'm building, and boom, looks exactly like this now. And what I had done earlier is I gave it the link to this app and said, make it look the same. It said, fine. Oh yeah, I can do that. Nah, not even close. It was white with orange and yellow, and it's like, how is that? It's the old kids thing. How are these the same? And because they weren't even close to the same. And so learned a lot of stuff, burned through way too many credits. I mean, realistically, if our single fan who is watching.
Well, we do. We actually have a comment. I was just waiting for a moment to get it in. Justin is saying, what is this site? He saw it in the Offer Secrets event. So what you're looking at here is Overskill. The bootstrapped members.bootstrap.com is, we don't know. It's supposedly the new framework.
Wait a minute, see here. What is this site? I saw it on the Offer Secrets event. Justin, you bought the $3,000 package for Marketing Secrets AI, which means you have access to Overskill. Just go into Platinum, and let's see here. Let's go into Platinum.
But the one the comments tagged on is the members.bootstrapped.com, and our understanding that is just the newest framework that is being pushed by this concept of build an app, market it with Marketing Secrets AI, and scale it or ultimately sell it with ClickFunnels.
Yeah. Just go here. So again, members.bootstrap.com, and there's nothing you can really do here. They had us actually go do something the other day about pulling the knot or whatever. Yes. And I did the exercise, and then I went back to the page a couple of days later, and it was like refreshing. It was refreshing itself, and then it just like went blank. So they took that page back down. It was something that somebody that works with Russell had come up with, a way to, because when I got done, I gave me, I'm an expert, but the tech makes me feel stupid. So. Well,
that's like your avatar. That's like the pain point of your ideal customer.
Yeah, knot, it says then sense. Below it is, I'm a world-class expert, but I'm trapped behind a screen I don't understand. I'm trapped behind a screen I understand. So basically, it's the frustration of somebody who's an expert that's having trouble
connecting their domain.
Well, yeah, digging through the tech to the point where they can actually help people out. With their expertise and, of course, membership site, community, whatever that looks like. But yeah, this thing here, like I said, Justin, just come here, click on these things. It doesn't do much right now, but it's the whole idea that they're flipping everything upside down. Whereas ClickFunnels used to be the front end, now Overskill is the front end.
I
And
don't know.
front end might be, a loose term there.
I don't know that I believe that that's the right path for most people. And this is my hot take on this. I think the benefit of Overskill is take a framework that you have and let software help your people through it faster to get a result. So, like, what are the roadblocks? Well, maybe the roadblocks are like, I want to teach people how to sell stickers. Maybe one of the roadblocks is coming up with the survey and even like just doing that part of it. So then the software can help them create the survey. Now it's copy and paste. Like I give the example of you with the one funnel away, creating that bundle image. The software would help you create the bundle image. I think that's the path forward with this, to lead more with still the traditional quiz funnels, lead funnels, books, all of that stuff. And the software is the continuity on the back end that helps people get a result. I think selling software on the front end is going to be hard.
Right. But I think it's more because, when Russell did the AI Secrets Challenge, the first thing he says is courses are dead.
Yeah.
Well, are courses dead? Or what it really comes around to is courses need software things to go with them.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're telling somebody how to do something. Well, here's a tool that's going to make it easier is really what it is. So I had years ago created this thing inside of ClickFunnels. It's seriously not more than about 12 lines of code, but where you can take any elements on a page and turn them into an animated FAQ. Well, then ClickFunnels came out with their own element that does it, which doesn't do it nearly as well as this thing does here. But then Madison and I were talking a few weeks ago, and I says, I don't know what to build. She says, well, why don't you turn those things that you built where you wrote the code for that and this and sliders and typewriter text and a bunch of other stuff, turn those into apps. And I'm just like, well, that's a good place to start for me. And so
for 30% commission.
30% commission?
Yeah. Yep. That
means I have to sell this. Oh my God. Then we could split 30% of zero. That's zero. But so I came in here and I built the whole thing. And of course, with all of these, it wants to give you a header across the top, and it wants to give you the little bullet points with the circles around it and the this and the that. And I go, get that crap off my screen. So I get it off my screen. This now is completely widgetized in a lesson inside of my Sea of Ninjas. So anybody who bought this software in the past, within a few days, will be able to go in there and just use this. And so you got your different options in here. Do we want them to be able to open up multiple drop downs at the same time, or just a single one at a time? And then do you want the icon on the left side, the right side, or do not set it at all? Because when you build this thing, you could actually build it using buttons instead of text elements. Because what you do is you build out everything inside of ClickFunnels. You give each one of each one of the question elements a certain attribute. That's all you have to do. So you got question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Design it however you want to design it. You give a single attribute to the questions. This code then, once you set it up here, you grab your code down here at the bottom. And what's cool is you see here, as we click on this, it says regenerate with current options. And so you do that, you copy your code, you go back into your page, you go to the header tracking code, you paste it in, boom, your animation on your FAQ now works. And so I don't know where I was going.
You needed it a few months ago.
You needed this a few months ago? Well, you have it available now. So, and it's, like I said, the outcome is much better than the ClickFunnels element that they built in there because of the ability to give it the layers that you can give it. Same thing with building any kind of a slider. Let's say you can go to AI and you can say to AI, give me a slider with 15 images, and then you got to, of course, give it the 15 image links. And then anytime you want to change those images out in the past, you got to go back into the code, you got to pull it out or ask AI to rewrite the entire thing again. And then you say, oh, I want to change the colors on here because my, or I'm going to build this one for a client now, and their colors are red and blue, and mine were orange and purple. And so in ClickFunnels, you just change that by changing the style guide. Well, if you had AI build these sliders for you, you're going to have everything rewritten. Whereas with my code for it, you just put in, again, the snippet of code because you built everything right on your ClickFunnels page. So all of the text elements are tied to your style guide. All of the images are right there. You want to change out an image, you just go click on the image, go in the sidebar, find a new image. It's in there. You're done. You want to change the shadowing around all of the elements. You don't have to go back to AI and have it rewrite it for you. You don't have to go into the code and change it yourself. You just go into the elements on the page and go, okay, click, 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 add that shadow onto your 5 slides, and you're done. And you don't have to change the code. The code's already applied, doing exactly what you want it to do. And so, is that a big, huge thing? No, but it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And especially for anybody who doesn't want to deal with the AI, who doesn't have an AI account, doesn't know how to go into ChatGPT and ask for something like that. And
they do, and then it cuts their page in half because it's messed with the body of the page, and can't figure out why only you have a half of a width of a page.
Yeah, I've had it do that too, where it gives you this code. And here's the thing is, if you don't know how to read the code once it gives it to you, you don't know if it's good or not. And so, like Madison said, you can drop this into your page, and all of a sudden there's one thing is over here and something's over there. I did it one time, and it left 3-4 inches at the top of the page blank. And then it did something below it, which sort of resembled what I was asking for. And I was like, I already know how to build in ClickFunnels. Why wouldn't I just build it in ClickFunnels, drop in this snippet of code? And so that's, you're going to be seeing that kind of stuff coming out from me over the next couple of weeks, because the more I get into this, it's great. But here's the other thing. So this app right here, this little accordion thing here, cost me.
Now, have you already topped off on credits?
I have not purchased any credits yet. I was gifted some credits, so we'll leave it at that. So the plus because we were beta testers, we had gotten extra credits too. So Madison and I have been using the software for, I don't know, at least a few weeks or so. I don't think it's been a month yet, but probably at least 3 weeks. But so this little accordion app here costs 15,000 credits. So figure $5 per 1,000. So 5 times 15 is $45. Cost me $45. Am I going to sell this? No. Is it going to be part of a membership area where I will charge monthly to have access to it? Yes. How long is it going to take me?
If you had to top off on the credits, it would be 11,000 credits is $60. So you'd had to buy the 22,000 at $115.
Yeah, so the most expensive it's going to be is $5.5 per 1,000. On the low end, if you buy it more bulk, it's $5 per 1,000. So just rough numbers. 5 times 15 is, no wait, I said 45. 5 times 15 is $75. $75. What am I thinking here? Just basic math. So $75 it costs me to do that. Well, so I sell one person $97 a month. I just made my money back. Everything is gravy after that. This one here, 35,000. I got to do some more work on it. Plus, I'm thinking I might combine it with another one that I was going to build just to smush it all together, because there's a lot of, basically every website on the planet needs this tool. I am not kidding you. When you guys see it, you're going to go, holy crap. And every single application built needs this tool applied to it. So let's say I double this, I go to 70,000 credits times $5 is what, 350 bucks? $350. How many people do I got to sell into my course to be able to use this to pay for that? 4?
Well, even the mega bundle is 62,000 credits for $316 at the current prices.
I did that. 70 times 5. So yeah, no, that's 350. Yeah. Because right now I'm at 35 times 5. So right now I'm at, I figure I'm at $200 right now. And like I said, half of this was because of the whole screwed up planning mode thing.
Yep.
So I could probably still be under 20,000 points right here on this. So I'm $100. Let's say realistically, I'm $100 into building this thing, and maybe I got another $100. So I got $200 to build this app that I'm going to put into a membership area that people are going to pay me $97 a month to access. And there's going to be all kinds of training and all kinds of other stuff in there. So although it hurts like hell when you see that it says, oh, we just charged you $3,000 to answer one, or 3,000 points to answer one question. I mean, that hurts. But then you look at it in the numbers of, okay, what does that really mean? And you go, oh, that ain't so bad. I spent that much money on a cup of Starbucks this morning.
And everything costs tokens in points in money. I mean, your Claude Max accounts to Replets. I mean, you're going to use it anyway. It's like there's nothing that's free unless you want to code this yourself. And let's face it, it's going to take you a heck of a lot more time to do that. So you pay with time or you pay with money.
Well, and here's another thing. Are we frozen over here? Just because I scrolled up. Another thing is I was watching some videos the other day, and they were talking about if you in the old way of doing things, you would build yourself an application, and then as your traffic got higher, you would have to bounce it off of multiple servers. But they said you're paying for that compute every single month, whether you use those servers or not. So let's say you got 5 servers, you're paying $200 for each one. You get $1,000 worth of compute right there. Well, you may have only used $80 worth of that this month because your traffic went to 0 for some reason, but you still just paid out $1,000. Here, you're paying for use. And what's making me think of that is, so if you're paying for Claude Code or something, and you're in the max plan and you're paying $200 a month, well, how do you know you used $200 worth? Did you?
You don't get rate limited. You don't hit your 5-hour limit. So that's how you know. When you were hitting it previously at $100 and now at $200, you don't hit your limit.
But if you only use $50 worth, they're not going to give you 150 back.
No.
Well, that's where the big difference is. This here is pay to play, and so you don't have to pay if you don't build any apps. But when you start looking at or even let's just say you did something like what Tony had built there, or Sarah's have an opt-in? I don't know if it did or not, but Tony's had an opt-in. Let's go back over here to Tony's. I think there was an opt-in on here, wasn't there? Let's do this. But either way, so what is even a single opt-in worth to you?
Yeah.
Is it worth $1? Is it worth $10? Is it worth $50? I mean, what's it worth? Let me see here. Begin your reset. Let's see here. So apparently nobody's asking for email addresses in here, I guess. But again, everybody built this on the fly real fast.
Pretty fast.
I don't see anybody here. But what's a single opt-in worth to you? I don't know. Or Russell always talks about, in order to get a sign up for something like his AI secrets, he's usually throwing around numbers like $200-300. So if it costs you $50 or $100 to build one of these things and it gets you results, that's cheap money.
Well, and with that, we're at the top of the hour. We're actually over. So we will see everybody when we come back, if we come back.
If we are picked up for a new season, the new season will start probably sometime in August, maybe not till September. I don't know. Either way, I'm 99% sure I will be at Funnel Hacking Live. That is my plan right now. And so I will see some of you there, but we should be back long before then, because I can't imagine Russell's not going to drop some massive offer between now and then that we'll have to come on here and talk about.
Yep. So that being said, we'll see everybody when we see you.